Anyway, yeah, she does tarot readings also. All right, Zelma Gonzalez, Course in Miracles meets all the other good stuff. This mic is all yours.
A thankful Thursday family. Let me say hi to those I see here. I see Dove and Sally and Regis and Lori and Deb and Sharon and Lynn and Mickey and iPhone and McKaylee and Glorian. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I have I told so many stories last week. I must have talked for a good almost the first half hour just talking about what's going on with me. I just don't feel like doing that today. Well, I do, but I won't. Um, outside of, I had the privilege of speaking at the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living last Sunday, and um, mm, I haven't really shared it outright except with maybe one person here. Um, as yet, if you want it, let me know. I'll send it to you. The topic was SOW in love. Um, and it went over well. A couple people actually said it was short. And it's funny, because after the first person sent me said it was short and sweet, and then somebody else sent me a message said, I just wish there had been more. And the funny thing about that was that when I was practicing it, practicing for my talk, I couldn't get past 11 minutes for some reason, and I thought I was talking slow. Um, apparently, not slow enough. But anyway, um, and I ended up speaking exactly double that, 22 minutes. And yet, and the minister of that center, Reverend Dr. Maxine K. Her messages are 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. So my goal intention is always to, stay in that format and go 20. Actually, I went 2 minutes over, and still got as I thought about it later, how good it felt that that it was recognized, considered as being short, which meant that there was in their minds, um, either it left them wanting more, and in one case I know where it left her wanting more, and the other person who just said, well, bam, I put it out there, and there it was. Anyway, that's all I have about that. So much love. You can find it on YouTube if you type it in with my name, I guess. Um, anyway, so that was that. Meanwhile, I over um, extended myself, and uh, so the way it works with us at the Center of Peace, the licensed practitioners uh, take a month to write to find the reading the reading for the week, for a particular week, for the whole month. Find a reading, write a treatment, which is an affirmative prayer, and write an affirmation. And I had said yes to doing that for the month of March, and I just said yes last week. What I didn't know after I said yes was that they were all due yesterday. Um, hopefully she'll get them today. Uh, when I say overextended, because I was preparing for the talk on Sunday, and this and other things going on, I was helping my client, helping my client. Oh, the funniest story, funniest story. Yeah, I guess I do have a story to tell. Um, Mike, good to see you, by the way. Good to see you. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind, and I don't know why, but you've been on my mind. So I guess I'm gonna have to go find your most recent talk and listen to it or something, because you have actually been you keep crossing my mind. Um, uh, so thank you, love. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to actually see you. Thank you. Uh, yeah, you've been. I don't know. Anyway, um, so I completely forgot what I was saying. I was helping my client. I do a care. I'm a caregiver, 3 days a week, now that the snow has gone, because I stayed home for 2 whole weeks. Anyway, um, they got new telephones, and I went through the phone company to help set them up for them, because that's not what they're not capable of doing that. So I'm talking to Xfinity, and when I spoke with them on Tuesday, he told me, because they don't have a Gmail account, and he told me I had to have a Google account and this, that, and the other. So I hadn't set that up yet. And they told me I had to wait till when the phones were functioning before I could do that. So I gave them my email address, which she told me what I could do. And short version of the story, yesterday after I get the phone set up, all of my information showed up on his phone. All of it, right down to my photograph, everything, all my contacts, everything. So it looked like I was an Xfinity person, that this was my phone. And I have to say, when I called the gentleman who helped me through this, took over an hour. We were on the phone for an hour. The gentleman who helped me through this, I heard myself say, wait a minute, I have to exhale. I have to exhale, because I was way, way, way up in the oh my God spot of life. Um, forgetting my God. I was in a place where I'm telling you, you couldn't. I was like a cat holding on. You couldn't have yanked me. You couldn't have pulled me off there. And I had to say, wait, wait, wait. I have to exhale. I have to exhale. And literally, I did. And this brings me. There's a book titled The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. It's an old book, great book. It talks about He talks about upper limits, how we set these limits for ourselves. And he mentioned, which I found interesting and true, that when something is not going the way we want it to, we do this inhale thing, like when you're driving down the street and something jumps in front of you, and you do the inhale and you forget to exhale. There's something in the exhale, the letting go. Mm, thank you, Spirit. The letting go, that's where the freedom really lies. Not in everything that I'm taking in, but at what I'm giving myself an opportunity to release. So I said to this man, wait, 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 I have to exhale, because I'm telling you, I was on the roof. I have to exhale. And I did. And then I started laughing. I said, no, it must sound crazy. And, because I heard myself, I sounded like I was bat doo doo crazy. I sounded bat doo doo crazy. And well, anyway, we got it situated. We got it situated. I had to sign myself out on my computer. I have my computer back. Did I tell you all that? Anyway, um, uh, I had to sign myself out of the whole Google account on my computer before I could, so that it wouldn't show up on their phone. And we got it figured. But anyway, it took me an hour. Now this was an hour that I was planning on sitting down and working with the affirmations and working with the treatments, and working with the and nope, nope. It was one thing after another. I had a meeting at 5 o'clock, and this, that, and the other. Just one thing after another. And I chose to work an overnight from Tuesday into yesterday. So um and I couldn't think. It just wasn't. So I'm exhaling and experiencing the joy of exhaling. And it's telling me more about letting go and not holding on. So anyway, that's what's been going on. And that said, I'm just going to um go to my slides and see what we've got. Mm, um, I keep doing this backwards. Let's see. I have to go into the share mode first, because I'm only doing it on one screen. I need to bring my other screen back up, or go to my other screen at some point, because it's easier. It's more fun that way. I will say this. this morning I'm walking lovable. I don't know what day it is, and even though I know that yesterday was um uh the 49th day of the year, I didn't think about that today. I'm walking lovable, and I'm and I heard I am sustained by the love of God. And that's the truth. I am sustained by the love of God. And as I was walking, I was just talking to myself about being sustained by the love of God. I had not yet seen today's lesson. And it wasn't until so I have a paper cut right here. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it happened. All I know is that for the last 2 days, my my hand it just like it's throbbing. There's a throbbing feeling that's going with this paper cut. So I'm going to neosporin this thing right now, um, and exhale. And I'm going to keep exhaling because doggone it, this thing, whole thing hurts. Um, so yeah, all I kept hearing, you know, that I'm sustained by the love of God, and I hadn't yet read the lesson. Well, we often say it. You know, you read something and you've read it before, and you read it before, and you read it before, and you look at it this time, and there's something different in it, and that's what happened. So that's what I'm going to look at today, and I'm going to look at that as well as um
I have to figure out what I'm going to wear tomorrow.
Hi, Cher. I heard you. It's okay. Well, at least now I know who iPhone is. It just says iPhone. I didn't know who that was. Great to see you. Um, I don't know what you actually said. I just heard you. That's all. Good to hear you. And good to see you. Great to see you. Uh, you know I follow you on Facebook, right? You do know I follow you, right? Okay. Yeah, yeah. I just kind of like discovered you like all this time. I didn't even know you were there, and then there you were, and it's like, wow. And yeah, I love you. Just need you to know that. Um, so anyway, let's do this. A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and Other Metaphysical Teachings. And I just heard Dove say something. I just heard Dove use the word metaphysics. I don't think I've ever, in all the years I've known Dove, heard him use the word metaphysics. Like, wow, yeah, yeah, because it's really, it's beyond the physical. It's really all just beyond the physical. That what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, it's temporary. And we don't seem to get that. We now and it's real in the moment, but it's all temporary. We grab hold of situations and things and feelings, thoughts. We grab hold of them as if they're supposed as if we're and the hurtful ones, as if we're supposed, as if they're it. And as long as we think they're it, yeah, they are, but they're not. That's what the whole illusion thing is. But it's all beyond the physical. And this is why remembering that I'm sustained by the love of God is so important. But I'll get to that. Um, we should daily wait a minute, because something's in my way. The screen share thing is in my way. We should daily train our thoughts to recognize the spirit in everything we do, say, or think. We should daily, and let's take the should out. Daily train your thought. Do you? Daily train your thought. Um, I was reading the lesson 50 just before I came on here, and I don't know if I've ever actually taken 10 minutes, as it says in that lesson, 10 minutes to to hold that thought to hold that thought that I am sustained by the love of God. Now, interestingly enough, as I said, I was walking lovable, and that's exactly what I was doing. But that was before I read it. I'm like, 10 minutes, that's a long time. You tell my ADHD brain that, 10 minutes. It's funny how reading that, it seemed like so long, but while I was doing it, it seemed like no time at all. Which lets me know that I, Zulma, have an authority problem. I have an authority problem. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want a book telling me what I should do. Um, which is exactly what I need to do to train my thought to recognize the spirit in everything I say, do, and think, because learning how to think is learning how to live. Learning how to live, how to enjoy life. Um, it's written in the Bible that, that we're to have life and that more abundantly. Not walking around in misery, not walking around holding ourselves back. In that book I was talking about, The Big Leap, it refers to upper limits. I love that term he uses, upper limits. It's kind of like the glass ceiling, but he not in terms of actions, but in terms of our feelings. We feel really good about something, and then we sabotage it. We sabotage it and it could be, we had a what we might call a lucky break or something. Something great happens, something good happens in our lives, and we get excited. And there's that part of us that doesn't think that we're supposed to be happy. That part of us that thinks that we're not supposed to be in joy. And so we do something. It might be, start an argument with our person, or something. We do something, or we go into a worry place, or we start criticizing something, or we start blaming something, or all these different things. And I love how gently this man breaks it down in this book. He's really good. He gives a personal example. The Big Leap. It's an old book. It's not a new book. Gay Hendricks is the author. Hendrick. I don't know if there's an S on the end or not. Gay Hendricks. He's written several books. But anyway, um, when the way that we master the process of thinking, Christian Larson says, is that we naturally become master over all life when we understand and master the process of thinking. Because thinking is all we've got. That's really all we've got. That's how we get around. We think our way into things, because first we think, then we feel, and then we do. And the course says, what we do comes from what we think. And in between there's what we feel. We think, we feel, we do. That's it. So we have to, if we want to enjoy the peace, we have to think about that peace. We have to make conscious efforts to live in that peace. And the only way to live in that peace is to think about and then know that we are that. We naturally become master over all life when we can understand and master the process of thinking. And Joel Goldsmith reminds us to keep the word of God alive in your mind. I am sustained, sustained, sustained by the love of God. Keep the word of God alive in your mind, in your thought, and in your experience. I can hear Regis saying, I believe in easy. I can hear him saying that. I believe in easy. But we don't do that. We make things hard, and we blame, our humanness. We blame um anything. Anything. We find any reason to blame for something not being the way we think it should. And the fact is, it's because we think it should be that way. That's the real reason. It's not the other way around. And we're reminded that this is indeed a course in mind training, and that all learning involves attention and study at some level. An untrained mind can accomplish nothing. Remembering, because I'm remembering that I'm sustained by the love of God, that every response I make, every response you make, is determined by what you think you are. My question then is, what do you think you are? And what you want to be is what you think you are. What I want to be is what I think I am, because I couldn't think the thought. I can't make up stuff. If I think, I want to be a writer, something in me, there's that creative spirit, that creative part of me that is thinking about being a writer. And in that moment, I'm enjoying in my mind being a writer. In that moment, I am that. What I want to be is what I think I am. The course teaches that we make ourselves part of the environment that we want to that we want. We make it. We create the situation. We make it what we want it to be. What you want to be then must determine every response you make. What do you want to be? What do you think you are? What do you think you are? What do you think you want to be? And whatever that is has to determine the response that you make. I love that passage. I love that. Every day I see it. Every day I look at it. Okay, I'm gonna drop screen for a minute. So one of my favorite passages came from The Creative Process by Thomas Troward. Thomas Troward um, was a judge, a prolific writer, and his name is included in those as part of the metaphysical movement. Um, I can't, he the year that in fact Ernest Holmes started teaching Thomas Troward's work, the year that Thomas Troward passed. And Ernest Holmes passed in 1960. So, I'm going back. I don't have those statistics on Thomas Troward at the moment. And that's Troward like Howard with a TR in front of it. Spelled that way. Some say Troward. I say Troward. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Thomas Troward. And it made me think about, I read this first this morning, and I'm going to put it back on the screen. I read this first this morning, and then it was after that that I had read the lesson for today. Thomas Troward wrote, if we regard the fulfillment of our purpose, I'm going to take my time with this one. If we regard the fulfillment of our purpose as contingent upon any circumstances, past, present, or future, we are not making use of first cause. Now, I always thought that, when I first read this, that first cause should be capital F and capital C. That's not how he wrote it, but that's absolutely how we have written it ever since. When we talk about the only cause, we do it with a capital C. When we think about first, foremost, primary, we think about that first with a capital F. So if we regard the fulfillment of our purpose as contingent upon any circumstance, past, present, or future, any temporary situation, anything that we can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch, any reports that we get from physicians, any thing that we see on the news, any so-called disappointment, things that we're disappointed, and I heard somebody, I don't remember who, say that if you are disappointed, that means that you have appointed in the first place. You cannot be disappointed unless you appoint in the first place, which to me basically means that you're not living up to according to my expectations. And expectations, I once heard someone say, I don't remember who, are illusions. Expectations are illusions because expectations are future based. They really are future based. And it's me minding your business. If I'm expecting you to act a certain way, that's me minding your business. That's me all in your lane, all up in your lane, thinking that you're supposed to do things the way I want. I got a phone call last night from someone who was telling me that um, he was hurt by what someone had said to him. And granted, the way that The person had spoken, what the person had said was um, uh, had a lot of energy in it, that did not, that, and as a result, uh, this gentleman chose not to feel good about it. And here I said, and I used the word choice there because, what we feel comes from what we think, and we get to choose how to think. Um, but because, he values this individual, um, he was totally caught off guard, totally caught off guard. Um, and he called me because he needed to talk about it. Called me as a licensed practitioner. He called me. He needed to talk about it, and I appreciate that he did. Um, he had spoken with someone from A Course in Miracles, for not this group, no one from this group, no one at all from this group, no one who's ever been here to this group. But he had first spoken with someone who's a Course in Miracles person, and that individual told him that, that he drew that to himself, and that he, it wasn't. Sometimes we hmm, we get too intellectual. We get a little too intellectual. We I'm gonna drop screen. Um, we start using terminology, the jargon, and it's not what a person, and it's not helpful. It's not truly helpful. When my computer crashed, I'll use that as an example. It wouldn't, and I'm feeling like, oh my God, I can't get this done, I can't get this accomplished. It would not have helped me at all to call someone to tell me, well, you attracted this to yourself, and you need, this is the situation that you need right now. Heck no, heck with a double L. Heck no, hell no. That's not what I need to hear right now. That's not what I need. You can offer to let me borrow your laptop. You can do that. You can remind me that I have a tablet and a phone that I can use. You can, but to tell me that, it's part of the dream, and you attracted this situation to yourself, and that's not helping me. Not one bit. Not one bit. I'm here only to be truly helpful. So I had to say that. In the case of this gentleman, he, so that's pretty much what the Course in Miracles person told him. And and that at that point he didn't want to talk to that person either. And he called me, and I'm glad he did. And even though I had to get to the point at some point, but not at the beginning, to let him know that the pain that he was feeling wasn't because she said what she said, but because that was something that was totally off guard for him. He wasn't expecting it. As he said, he had no filters. He didn't have his guard up. And I said, and that's a good thing that you don't have this guard up, because if I have my shield up, that means I'm looking for somebody to come at me with a weapon. That's what that, if I'm shielded, guarded, putting myself in a place to be protected from, that means that I think that something is going to hurt me. I'm preparing for battle, so to speak. So he was, but to let him know ultimately that it wasn't what she said that was the issue, but the fact that he didn't expect that from her, and on and on. And I use the example of blue paint. I don't know. I'm sure I've said it here before, maybe not recently. If there's blue paint on the roof, and you're walking down the street, and that can of paint is right there, just about to tip over. And just as you're passing, that can of blue paint falls, and now you're splattered in blue paint. It's not because it was you that you're now splattered in blue paint. It's because the paint was blue. Because no matter who would have walked by at that moment, that can was going to tip, the paint was going to be blue, and that person, whoever it was going to be splattered in blue paint. That is to say, what was coming out of that lady is what was in her. And she was in a painful spot. She was in a painful spot. And the way she came out, she lashed. Granted, our job, and this was, and I say all this to say, this wasn't the first part of the, I didn't say that to him in the beginning, that, it's because, who, how important she is to you, that you took it that way, that you chose to hurt. That would not have been helpful. That would not have been helpful. I had to deal with his pain first, the pain itself, and let him get out how he was feeling, and then him telling me what this Course in Miracles person had said to him and all that, which didn't help at all. Now he's feeling even worse, because it's like, doesn't even know if he wants to talk. Doesn't even know he wants to talk to that person anymore. With you take everything to everybody. Everything is not for everybody. Glorian writes, the only thing. Oh, okay. No, wait. Before that, Mike wrote, expectations are resentments waiting to happen. Expectations are resentments waiting to happen. Yeah, because my expectation is based on who I knew you to be before. If you're accustomed to me coming on here all sweet and whatnot, I'm just, just sugar and spice and everything nice. And I come on, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm not speaking to anybody today because I had a problem, and nobody even bothered to reach out to me. And if that was, and then you might think, oh well, I'm not coming on to listen to Zulma anymore because she wasn't who I expected her to be. That's not what I expected from her. That's not, that's not what she wasn't even supposed to talk about that. She was supposed to be talking about A Course in Miracles, Me, Science, and other metaphysical teachings. That's what she's supposed to be doing. And that's not what she did. And I can't believe that all that stuff that's going on in our heads about, in this case, in your heads, I'm using, as the example, about Zulma and how I'm supposed to be. You expected something from me. You expected me to be who I was in the past. And I'm not there. This is where I am. Today I talked about the talk I gave. Last Thursday I was talking about the talk I was going to give. But to expect anything, did you expect me to have whatever, whatever the expectation was, I didn't meet it. If I didn't meet it, it had nothing to do with me. It was your own expectation. Hi, Rick. Welcome.
Good morning.
So let's see. So glory, and I like that, Mike. That's right. Resentments waiting to happen. It's all based on the past. It's all based on the past. You're going to let me down. Expect resentments waiting to happen. I know you're going to let me down because others have let me down. After all, why should I be happy? Okay. So Glorian wrote, the only thing we wait in expectancy for is the only cheerful expectancy. Can I add that word? Cheerful expectancy. The only thing we wait in cheerful expectancy for is the still small voice, as we are willing and receptive to listening. That goes back to being sustained by the love of God. If I am focused on the things in front of me, what I see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, all this stuff out here, all the temporary stuff, if I'm not looking out there, never going to be satisfied. The Course tells you, seek not outside yourself. Workbook lesson 50 says the same thing. It doesn't say in those words, but seek not outside it because it will fail. I need a moment here, excuse me. Okay. It will fail. We're seek first the kingdom. And Glorian also wrote, he spoke of this past projection of needs. In the in the holy instant and the special relationship. Yes, okay. In the Course, in that section, the holy instant and the special relationship, which I'm not going to go to right now, because it'll throw me it'll throw me completely off. I'm not prepared for that. I don't have my book in front of me. But so yeah, so I'm gonna put the screen back up, put the slide back up. First cause is not the things out there. Expectations are illusions. I love that what Mike said. Expectations are resentments waiting to happen. If we regard the fulfillment of our purpose as contingent upon any circumstances, past, present, or future, I'm getting hot, family. Um, we are not making use of first cause. Now, first cause is that still small voice that Gloria mentioned. First cause is what we call God, what we call spirit, what we call truth, the invisible. That being the case, we have descended to the level of secondary causation, which, in the Course it talks about the levels. First cause is level 1. Secondary causation is level 2. We have descended to the level of secondary causation, which is the region of doubts, fears, and limitations, all of which we are impressing upon the universal subjective mind, with the inevitable result that it will build up corresponding external conditions. Basically, that means that what we call the mental equivalent. What I believe, that's what I receive. What I believe, that's what I receive. It's written, it is done unto you as you believe. According to you, as you believe, it is done unto you. The inevitable result, that it will build up corresponding external conditions. It's bound to fail. Seek not outside yourself because it's bound to fail. Thomas Troward continues, but if we realize that the region of secondary causes is the region of mere reflections. Now, this is just, of course, in words that he spoke back when he did it. If we realize that the region of secondary causes is the region of mere reflections, we shall not think of our purpose contingent on any conditions whatever. Nothing out there. Conditions are the conditional things. Remember, we talk about love being unconditional, having no conditions. If it has no conditions, that means that what we see with the physical eye, see, hear, smell, taste, and touch about it, has no bearing. It has no bearing. So if we realize that the region of secondary causes is the region of mere reflections, we shall not think of our purpose contingent on any conditions whatever, but shall know that by forming the idea of it in the absolute, capital A, absolute. It should be a capital A. It nowadays we write with a capital A. But see, this gentleman was writing before we started doing all that extra italicizing and stuff. He wasn't. He was way before that. Way before that. Those times. Um, we shall know that by forming the idea of it in the absolute and maintaining that idea, remembering that I am sustained. Maintaining that idea, sustained. We have shaped the first cause, level 1, into the desired form and can await the result. There it is, Glorian, with cheerful expectancy. With cheerful expectancy. It all keeps coming back. It all keeps coming back to recognizing that still small voice of being willing to stay in God, to recognize that what's everything it's out there, including this skin, including this, it's this that's out there. It's all out there. It's not what I am. It's not the essence of me. It's not what sustains me. It's not what determines whether I'm going to be happy or not. It doesn't determine whether I'm going to uh, feel good about something. It doesn't determine whether I'm going to hurt. It doesn't determine any of that. That's not what determines it. It's all right here. I'm one with Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and it dwells inside of me. And there is no inside, but that's how it was written. That's how I'm singing it. It it's that oneness. It's remembering that one and the one and the one. The one and the one and the one. Sustained. I'm going to read again what Glorian wrote there first. The only thing we wait in expectancy, and from Thomas Troward, I'm going to add the word cheerful. The only thing we wait in cheerful expectancy for is the still small voice as we are willing and receptive to listening. And what I've come to discover that it's a still voice and it's a small voice, but it doesn't but it actually gets louder, because louder, and I don't mean loud like a cacophony. It gets louder in that it drowns out, it starts drowning out more and more. It drowns out that voice, that other voice, the voice that says, oh no, you're not worthy, oh no, you don't deserve it, oh no, look at them, who the heck do they think they are, oh no. It starts drowning that out. I start hearing, and after stop, the first words that come to me when things, well, stop, 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 stop. Now I know exhale. That exhaling is a good thing, because again, we go into that inhale mode, and it just made me think of when I was a nicotine user, and I had stopped using nicotine after having been a 3-pack a day smoker. When I would get anxious and think about smoking, I would always you go into that inhale place and you forget to exhale. We forget to exhale. My God, the gift of an exhale. Just letting go. Just letting go. Letting God, as we say, let go and let God. But that inhale is based on something out there. It's not me recognizing and remembering the truth of what I am. It's me forgetting that I am sustained by the love of God. The Course says that the habit of engaging with God, is easy. Like I said, the voice gets louder. That still small voice gets louder. It's a beautiful, still small voice, but I can hear it more and more and more. The habit of engaging with God is easy if we actively refuse to let our minds slip away. The sleep of forgetting is the unwillingness to remember. Do I do it 100%? Heck no. but more and more and more and more and more. Like I said, I didn't even realize that today's lesson was I'm sustained by the love of God. But I'm walking with lovable. And I mean, I'm telling you, just as plainly as you're hearing my voice now, that's how I heard it. I am sustained by the love of God. And I'm smiling and I'm walking my dog. And anybody who watched me, well, if they had asked me, I would have told them, you know what? um, but yeah, sustain my love. So we wait in cheerful expectancy. We wait and we wait and expect. That's what that's saying. We don't just wait. I expect. I expect God. I expect that what's in me to flow. I expect to breathe. I expect to be able to blink my eyes. I expect to love. I expect. This is what I expect. And all that other stuff, I expect to be able to project to present what's coming from within me out there. That's how I'm truly helpful. First to myself. Because I'm coming with a full cup. Hey, I got something for you. Want it? Here. Come on, come get it. It's here. Come and get it. Come and get it. And when I give it to you, then you're giving it back to me. And oh man, expectancy. I expect that still small voice. And I'm willing and receptive. Receptive. That means I want to receive it. I want to receive it. So, because it doesn't matter if I go to give you the gift, you have to be willing to take the gift. It doesn't matter if the gift is being given, and the gift is always given. It doesn't matter if the gift is being given to me if I'm not open to receiving it. That's what that's all about. That's what that's all about. So that was Thomas Trowers. Thomas Trowers. Oh, it's 18 after already. Wait a minute. Okay, let's go back to the slide. Let's go back to the slide. No, I'll tell you what. Well, yeah, let's do that first. Let me see. Share. And I'm finished with that one. And now I want to go to this one. I'm going back to something Ernest Holmes wrote a while back. Look only at what you want. Never look at that which you don't wish to experience. Which is almost sounding like, you know how the Course says, do only this, do only that. You know how we don't say, don't, what is it? We say, don't forget, instead of remember. Oh, by the way, hi Katia, I know you're listening. Never look at that which you don't wish to experience, no matter what the false condition may be. That's a secondary cause. That's a level 2. It must be refuted. Oh, I see. And it doesn't mean that I'm ignoring it, but I'm not going to hold on to it because it's going to pass. The proper kind of a denial is based upon the recognition that in reality, there is no limitation. For mind, that's God, can as easily make a planet as an acorn. The infinite knows no difference between $1 million and a penny. It knows only that it is. It is the consciousness back of the word that forms the word. Consciousness means the inner embodiment of an idea through the recognition of truth and a direct relationship to the divine. Direct relationship to the divine. Direct relationship to the divine. I am sustained. I am one with. I am what God is. That's the way it's written. And so it is. That's the way it's written. I'm going to drop share for a moment because now I have to go to work with lesson 50. And it's interesting. Those two slides, the Thomas Troward and Ernest Holmes, I created those slides last month. No, we're still in February. Yeah, early last month I created those slides, and as I do a week, and if whatever slides I don't, I'll bring them to the next month, and I'll bring them to the next month, and I'll bring them to the next, because I don't know when I'm going to use them, if I'm actually going to use them. I can't tell you how many slides are held in abeyance, but anyway, and this morning as I'm walking lovable. And it comes to me. I'm sustained by the love of God, and I couldn't think of whatever. I didn't know what else was in that lesson because I hadn't read it yet. I hadn't even read it yet. All right, let's see. Where are you? Um, but that's all that kept coming. I'm sustained by the love of God. And then I decided to read what Troward and Ernest Holmes. I said, oh, well, that's today. How about that? I'm going to use that today. That's something else. Let's go to lesson 50. Let's go to lesson 50. I am sustained by the love of God. Can you all see that? Here is the answer to every problem that will confront you today and tomorrow and throughout time. Every problem. It's basically saying, go in and seek first the kingdom, the answer to every problem. Because in this world, the Course teaches, you believe you are sustained by everything but God. Oh, I need this money. Oh, I need this job. Oh, I need this book. Oh, I need this doggy. Oh, I need this. Your faith is placed in the most trivial and insane symbols: pills, money, protective clothing. I started taking it off now. If I start taking any more off, you'll think, ah. Rick laughed and say, well, maybe she, no, no. Well, I wonder what the expectation would be then. Anyhow, your faith is protective clothing, influence, prestige, being liked, knowing the quote right people, and an endless list of forms of nothingness that we endow with magical powers. All these things are replacements for the love of God. All these things are replacements for the truth. All these things are replacements for what we actually are. All these things are replacements for that which really sustains me. The breath I take is God. I believe it's Job in the Bible, chapter 33, sentence 4, 33 and 4. It says something like the breath of God gives me life, or something like that. Something like that. Job 33 and 4. Look it up. I can't paraphrase it. I mean, I can't quote it right now. That's my paraphrase. All these things are your replacements for the love of God. All these things are cherished to ensure a body identification. Oh, does my makeup look okay? You like my lipstick? Oh, oh. Remember the old Playtex commercial, the cross your heart thing? Does this look right? All these things, all these things we cherish to ensure a body identification. Well, if I wear this jacket, then you won't see how big my waistline is. Like I can really hide that, right? Um, they are songs of praise to the ego. This is temporary. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what your situation is. You know, and if your situation is one that is how do I say this? An uncomfortable one. If it's an uncomfortable one, and it's been uncomfortable for a time, and it's according to what you're being told, it's going to be uncomfortable later on. It's pretty darn good to know it's a temporary one. It's good to know that it's temporary because it's not the essence of what we are. It's not the essence of what we are. Last year, the doggy started having seizures back in May, and the first time, I didn't know that's what it was, and I brought him to my knee, and he got a good hold. He got a grip on my knee. I'm telling you, that thing hurt, and it hurt, and it hurt. Now that knee happens to be the same one I had torn the retinacular back in 2018. Fell down the steps one day. I didn't want to go to work. That was what it came down to. All I said was, I really wish that I could have been like the people I was on the phone with who didn't have to go to work. Next thing I knew, I slid off the top step and okay, so but it's the same knee, and then later on I ended up getting a cortisone shot in it because it was hurting to the touch, the wound itself. My skin raises. I have a what do they call it? Anyway, my skin raises. And they put a cortisone shot in it. And sometimes I'll go to take a step and I can't. The knee, I'm glad to know that this is temporary. I don't care. The day is going to come when this body is going to cease doing what it's doing. There's going to come a day when I'm not going to be coming here on a Thursday because somebody will have gotten the word. At first you'll think little think I was just being irresponsible for not calling. This is assuming that that I predeceased Lynn physically. It's temporary. The knee is going to stop hurting. I won't have to wear glasses to see. There's joy in that. And it doesn't mean I'm not talking the morbid stuff. I'm not trying to be morbid here. But this is temporary. And as I remember that I am sustained, I'm not sustained by this body. I am sustained by the love of life, by the love of truth, by the love of peace, by the love of grace, by the love of compassion. I am sustained by all that. Those are all by the love of spirit, all synonyms for the word God. I am sustained by that. But all these other things we cherish as body identification, they're songs of praise to the ego. Do not put your faith in the worthless. It's not where it has no worth. It's temporary. It has no real value. It's temporary. It won't sustain you. Only the love of God will protect you in all circumstances. All circumstances. It doesn't matter what the can of blue paint. It turns out that you can wash the blue paint off. It's waterproof. I mean, it's water. You know what I mean? You can wash it off. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. Only the love of God, only the love of truth, only the love of life will protect you in all circumstances. It will lift you out of every trial, not some things, every trial, and raise you high above all the perceived dangers of this world into a climate of perfect peace and safety. Perfect peace and safety. How does that feel? I know how it feels to me. Perfect peace and safety. The love of God, the love of life, the love of truth will transport you into a state of mind that nothing, absolutely nothing can threaten, nothing can disturb, and where nothing can intrude upon the eternal calm of the Son of God, and that's you. Nothing can intrude upon your eternal calm. It's in a workbook lesson right after 50, the first review one. I believe it's in the fourth paragraph, where it says that you realize that peace is everywhere you are because you are it. Don't put your faith in illusions. Oh, it's time for me to go. 11:29. Don't put your faith in illusions. They'll fail you. They will fail you. Chapter 29, section 7, I think. Seek not outside yourself. It will fail you. Put all your faith in the love of God within you. In the Bible is written, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Trust in the Lord. It doesn't say trust in people. It doesn't say trust in books. Trust in the Lord. Trust in God. Trust in that which is within you. Because our Father, which art within, because it's written that the kingdom of God is within. The kingdom of God is you. Trust. Put your faith in the love of God within you, eternal, changeless, and unfailing. And this is the answer to whatever confronts you today, tomorrow, and always. Today, tomorrow, and always remember that God, love is all there is. Through the love of God within you, you can resolve all seeming. There's that word seeming again. Anything that seems to happen, I'm calling it based on how I'm perceiving it. It will, through all seeming difficulties, without effort and ensure confidence. Tell yourself this often today. Tell yourself this often tomorrow. Tell yourself this often all the time. That's the habit of engaging with God. That's the habit of engaging with God. That's the habit of engaging with God. That's how we keep from forgetting. That's how we see this, but we feel that. That's how we turn on the TV and say, oh, that's God. That's God. And it's not disturbing me because I know the truth. I am sustained by that. Tell yourself this often. It is a declaration of release from the belief in anything that you can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. It is your acknowledgement of the truth about yourself. Now it says to do it for 10 minutes. I'm getting ready to get out of here. 10 minutes, it says. It's the first time I've been reading this since 1992. 10 minutes, it says. Let the idea sink deep into your consciousness. Deep, deep, deep. Repeat it, think about it. Hear what's saying? Engage, 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 engage. Give God your all because God gives you your all because it's all in all. It's all one. That's all I got. Family, I love you. Thank you. Let me drop screen.
Thank you,
And
Zulma.
yeah.
So glad you got your computer back. Love you, my dear. And we're
Thank
going to
you.
go ahead and close out your YouTube and get set up for Dove and Karen. Love